Hey everybody! So a couple of years ago I was hanging out with the guys from Good Evening Gentlemen and we were having a pretty in-depth discussion with the bass player Calvin Love. Now Calvin's not only a great bass player but he's also a pretty savvy dude and he's great at building cool things. And we were discussing designs for a remote controlled mic stand. Why? Well, if you're like me and you're obsessive about your guitar tone, you know that the mic placement is everything. We can go on and on about strings, picks, pickups, guitar amps, cabs, you name it till you're blue in the face, but the single greatest factor in recorded guitar sound is the microphone and where it's placed. The sound is in the hands? Hell no. The sound is where you place the mic. So we came up with a few ideas and we're about to implement a plan to build this contraption when along came this company called Dynamount with a Kickstarter for a much more advanced version of what I wanted to build. So I was like, well, screw it. Might as well wait for this thing to come out because this looks pretty awesome. Just so happens I've got one in the studio now. Let's have a look. Okay, the Dynamount is a remote-controlled mic stand that operates on 3 axes, left to right, in and out, and on and off axis. Now, what makes this great is that you can control it with your cell phone or tablet. Let's let that sink in for a minute. You can control where the mic goes on your guitar cab with your phone. This means that you can sit in your control room sweet spot and dial in your guitar tone with zero guesswork. For me anyway, this is a huge time saver. I don't know how many times I've ran back and forth from my control room to my amp room to move a mic a millimeter or two in one direction or another, taking notes along the way and hoping that I get it right. And yes, when you're micing guitar amps, it really does come down to millimeters. Not only does the Dynamount allow you to make incremental adjustments, it allows you to make big sweeping moves and try out a whole bunch of different positions with ease. So setting this up, you've got 2 options, horizontal or vertical. I originally went with a vertical just to find what area of my speaker I liked the best. Unfortunately, with vertical, you lose the axis adjustment in this mode. And setup can be a bit of a pain. You're adding a lot of weight onto the end of a mic stand, so a sandbag or 2 might be a very good idea to put on the base of your mic stand to keep it from toppling over. Dynamount included a very nice heavy-duty clutch type elbow joint from On-Stage Stands, and it's available as part of an accessory pack with the retail version. I highly recommend grabbing it, it's rock solid. Anyway, once you get it mounted and centered on your speaker, you call up your Dynamount app, which works with your Apple or Android phone or tablet. And you're good to go. Just be sure to be within range of a Wi-Fi router, as this is how the Dynamount communicates with your phone. Let's set up a guitar reamp and watch what happens as we move the mic around the speaker. We're using a Rev Generator 120 here with the EQ zeroed out. Now, what's really great here is that there are 6 preset slots for you to work with so you can quickly compare tones. I had one friend ask, well, why would I use this to put the mic exactly where I'd normally put it? Well, that's just it. I wound up putting the mic somewhere completely different than where I would normally put it. Again, by using presets, it's very easy to compare. Even if you do wind up in the same spot, the fine-tuning capabilities of this thing are nothing short of amazing. Now, when you do put the Dynamount into horizontal mode, you lose the up-down capability, but you gain the ability to move the mic in and out from the source, as well as move the mic on-off axis. Unfortunately, my mic stand only goes solo, and my best speaker on my Mesa cabinet is at the bottom, so I had to raise it up on milk cartons here. I contacted the company about this, and they've assured me that it's perfectly fine to mount the Dynamount upside down, and it will still function correctly. You'll just need a very heavy-duty boom stand. Let's check it out. Now, what I really like here is the idea of being able to tweak the axis and really fine tune just how much bite is in the guitar sound. It lets me try out all kinds of ideas without running my ass off or making a ton of notes to compare tones. For what it was worth, I used the Dynamount to dial in the guitar tone on the Good Evening Gentlemen song. Now, the Dynamount isn't just limited to guitar cabinets. You can use it on snare drums, acoustic guitars, pretty much any source you can think of. Bear in mind, there is a little bit of noise from the motors, and when you're miking up a guitar cabinet, it's not so much of a big deal, but with an acoustic guitar, it might be. So remember, you've got presets, so that's a great way to compare without having to deal with all the noise. Another caveat. When you're in vertical mode, you will have to lower your mic to the lowest setting before you power it down, or it will drop like a rock. And then you'll have to fire it back up and put it in position every single time you want to record your guitar. Again, that's why presets are so great. There's been a few days when I've left the studio and caught myself asking, damn, did I leave the Dynamount on? So yeah, be sure to unplug it after use, as there's a bit of heat coming off the wall wart. If you're in horizontal mode, it's definitely set and forget. For those of you guys asking for some tutorials, as I've been working with the Dynamount, it's inspired me to create my next guitar recording tutorial, which will be on advanced mic placement and how it works in a mix. Stay tuned for that one next week. So bottom line, the Dynamount is a total winner. I've been dreaming of having something like this for years now, and is finally a reality. I really can't stress just how much work this thing saves. If you record real live guitar cabinets, this is the next thing you should be looking to purchase, because the sound is in the microphone and this will help you get it. You can check it out at Vintage King, Dale Pro Audio, and B&H.